What is the difference between systems user and system services? I'm trying to understand a little better system by writing some services. I have difficulties in understanding the differences between those two services. For instance, while I'd like to be sure I understand them correctly would be more appropriate. So for instance, I got retorrent service, defined as RT as a system service, that I can enable for user X, Y, Z, with sudo systemd'S enable RT at userx.service. And I got Dropbox defined that way. If I understand well, the Dropbox service can be started, stopped, enabled, disabled at a user level, for many users. Even if that user isn't an administration, does it mean I can as userx enable it for user E? As for the RT service, only an admin can enable start, stop it. Is that the only difference between a system service and a user one?
You're a bit muddled, yes. Smiling face. You have a set of system services that are managed by the system-wide instance of Systemd', which are each an instantiation of a template service unit in the file break time equals 1s/break.service. A set of user services that are managed by the per-user instances of Systemd', which are each an instantiation of a template service unit in the file break time equals 1s/break.service. You now need to understand this. There is one system-wide instance of Systemd'. It always runs. This process number 1. Only an administrator has the authority to control system services. There are multiple per-user instances of Systemd'. They are started/stopped on demand as users log on/log off. They are not process number 1. There is a maximum of 1 per user, however many times the user is logged on. Only that user or an administrator has the authority to control XYR own services. A template service unit is a way of making multiple ad hoc service units on the fly that differ in the template parameter. The actual instantiated service units are named as a combination of the template name and the parameter. Combined, this all means in your RT at .service, the parameter is a username used to specify the user that the service runs as and the working directory that it runs in. So you can instantiate services such as RT at Yuri10.service and RT at David.service. These are system services managed by the system-wide instance of Systemd', and it takes an administrator to start and stop them. It just so happens that there's 1 per user. In your Dropbox at .service, the parameter is ignored. You can instantiate services such as Dropbox at Wibble.service and Dropbox at Fui.service. These are user services managed by the per-user instances of Systemd'. Each user has XYR own separate set of template instantiations which that user can start and stop. You possibly didn't want your Dropbox service unit to be a template, or you're now figuring out what that environment equals display equals %I setting was all about. Smiling face.
If you want support help, please consider liking and subscribing.